He was born to rule, but fate had other plans. A tiny ball of golden fur, oblivious to the destiny that awaited him, his eyes, still closed, held the promise of a king. Yet, life in the wild is harsh. Survival is a privilege, not a right, and for this cub, the journey to his birthright would be paved with unimaginable hardship. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The air, thick with the scent of acacia and dust, hummed with the symphony of the night. This was his kingdom, though he didn't know it yet, a land of endless plains, shadowed valleys and watering holes reflecting the star-dusted sky. His first breath was drawn in this untamed paradise, a world ruled by instinct and power. He was a lion, born into a legacy of strength and dominance. But even lions, the apex predators, are not immune to the whims of fate. For this cub, destined for greatness, was about to face the ultimate test of survival. The Shadow Pride, they were called, a name that echoed through the savannah, whispered by the wind and feared by all who heard it. Named for their prowess in the dead of night, they were masters of the dark. Under the cloak of darkness they moved like phantoms, their golden eyes piercing through the blackness. Their skill in the hunt was unparalleled, a symphony of stealth and power. Each member of the Pride played their part with precision, a well-oiled machine of predation. Their ability to melt into the shadows was legendary. They could vanish in an instant, becoming one with the night, invisible to both prey and rival alike. They were a force to be reckoned with, feared and respected in equal measure. Their presence commanded awe, their roars echoed through the plains, a reminder of their dominance. Their territory spanned miles of savannah, a testament to their strength and unity. The vast expanse of their domain was a canvas painted with their legacy. At their head was Aslan, a magnificent male with a mane like thunderclouds. His presence was imposing, his gaze unwavering, a true king of the wild. His roar, a deep rumble that shook the ground, was enough to send any creature scurrying for cover. It was a sound that resonated with power and authority, a declaration of his reign. Aslan was a ruler by birth, a king who commanded respect with every glance. His leadership was unquestioned, his decisions absolute. His mate, Zarina, was a lioness of unparalleled grace and ferocity. She was the heart of the Pride, her strength matched only by her wisdom. Her amber eyes held a wisdom that came from surviving countless hunts, raising numerous cubs, and navigating the treacherous path of life in the wild. She was a mother, a warrior, a queen. Together, Aslan and Zarina ruled the Shadow Pride with an iron paw, their bond unbreakable. They were the epitome of strength and unity, their leadership a beacon for the Pride. It was into this formidable lineage that our young cub was born. A new chapter in the legacy of the Shadow Pride, a new hope for the future. He was one of three, the smallest of the litter, but even from his first wobbly steps, there was an air of regality about him. His tiny frame held a promise of greatness. Perhaps it was the way he carried himself, or the fire that flickered in his amber eyes. There was a spark in him, a potential that was undeniable. Whatever it was, those who looked upon him felt it. This cub was special. He was destined for greatness, a future leader of the Shadow Pride. As he grew, the Pride watched over him, nurturing his potential, guiding him towards his destiny. The Shadow Pride's legacy lived on in him, a testament to their enduring strength and unity. The savannah whispered of the cub's arrival. The vast expanse of golden grasslands seemed to hum with anticipation, as if nature itself was aware of the significance of this new life. The air was thick with the scent of earth, and the distant calls of other creatures, all contributing to the symphony of the wild. The wind carried tales of his lineage, stories of ancestors who had roamed these lands with pride and power. It was as if the very breeze was a messenger, whispering secrets of the past and promises of the future into the ears of those who would listen. Of the power that coursed through his veins, a legacy of strength and resilience. His eyes, though young, held a depth that spoke of wisdom beyond his years. There was a fire in his gaze, a spark that hinted at the greatness that lay within. The elders of the Pride, their muzzles dusted with age, saw in him a glimmer of Aslan's strength, a reminder of the legendary lion who had once ruled these lands. They watched him with a mixture of hope and nostalgia, their hearts swelling with pride at the sight of the young cub, a flicker of Zarina's cunning, the lioness known for her sharp mind and strategic prowess. They saw in him the potential to be a leader, a beacon of hope for the future of the pride. His every move was scrutinized, every action weighed and measured. He was named Kopa, meaning heart in the ancient tongue of the lions. It was a name that carried with it a promise, a destiny that he would one day fulfill. The pride gathered around him, their voices raised in a chorus of approval, welcoming him into their fold. And true to his name, Kopa possessed a heart full of courage and curiosity. From the moment he could walk, he was eager to explore, to understand the world around him. His inquisitive nature led him to places others dared not venture, his bravery setting him apart from the rest. He explored his surroundings with an insatiable thirst for adventure, his small legs carrying him further and further from the den. Each day was a new journey, each step a new discovery. The savannah was his playground, and he reveled in its vastness. His small legs carrying him further and further from the den, he would often find himself in places unknown, his heart racing with the thrill of the unknown. The world was a vast and wondrous place, and he was determined to uncover all its secrets. Kopa was different from his siblings. While they were content to stay close to the pride, playing and wrestling in the safety of their home, Kopa's spirit was restless. He was driven by a need to see what lay beyond the familiar, to push the boundaries of his world. While they wrestled and played, content within the safety of the pride, Kopa yearned for more. He would often be found at the edge of the territory, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon. It was as if he could see something beyond the visible, something calling out to him. He would often be found at the edge of the territory, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon, as if dreaming of the day he would conquer the world beyond. His dreams were big, his ambitions even bigger. The horizon was not a limit but a promise of what was to come, as if dreaming of the day he would conquer the world beyond. His imagination painted pictures of lands far and wide, of adventures yet to be had. He was a dreamer, but also a doer, ready to turn those dreams into reality. His boldness, however, was a double-edged sword. It was this very trait that made him stand out but also put him at risk. His fearless nature led him into situations that were both thrilling and dangerous, his courage sometimes bordering on recklessness. While it endeared him to some, it worried others. The pride was divided in their opinions of him. Some saw a future leader, a lion who would bring glory to their name. Others saw a potential threat, a cub whose actions could bring harm to them all. They saw in his recklessness a threat to the pride's stability, a potential for danger. His actions, though well-intentioned, often led to unintended consequences. The elders in particular were concerned, their wisdom telling them that such boldness needed to be tempered with caution. Little did they know, their fears would soon be realized, but not in the way they expected. The winds of change were blowing, and Kopa's journey was just beginning. The savannah held many secrets, and Kopa was destined to uncover them all, one step at a time. Tragedy struck the Shadow Pride with the suddenness of a lightning strike. A rival pride, driven by hunger and ambition, launched a vicious attack under the cloak of a moonless night. The savannah echoed with the sounds of battle, the air thick with the scent of blood and fear. Aslan, ever the fearless leader, fought with the fury of 1,000 storms, but even his might was no match for the overwhelming numbers of the attackers. He fell, his roar silenced forever, leaving the Shadow Pride vulnerable and leaderless. Zarina, heartbroken but resolute, knew she had to protect her cubs. With heavy steps, she made the agonizing decision to flee, to seek refuge in the vastness of the savannah. But fate, it seemed, was not yet done with its cruel game. In the chaos of the escape, Kopa, always the adventurous one, strayed too far from his mother's side. He watched, his small heart pounding in his chest, as the last of his pride disappeared into the darkness, leaving him alone and lost. The savannah, once a familiar playground, now stretched before him, vast and unforgiving. The golden hues of the setting sun cast long shadows, painting a picture of desolation and solitude. The once vibrant land, filled with the sounds of his family and the thrill of the hunt, now seemed like an endless expanse of emptiness. The scent of his pride, his family, faded with the wind, leaving him with the bitter taste of loneliness. Each gust carried away memories of warmth and safety, replacing them with the cold reality of his isolation. The gentle breeze that once brought comfort now felt like a cruel reminder of what he had lost. The weight of his abandonment pressed down on him, heavy and suffocating. His once bright eyes, filled with curiosity and mischief, now reflected a deep sadness. The world around him seemed to close in, making every breath a struggle, every step a monumental effort. Hunger gnawed at his belly, a constant reminder of his vulnerability. The pangs of starvation were relentless, each one sharper than the last. He wandered the savannah, his small frame growing weaker with each passing day, the search for sustenance becoming more desperate. He scavenged for scraps, his once playful hunts now a desperate struggle for survival. The joy of the chase, the thrill of the catch, had been replaced by a grim determination to find anything edible. Every morsel he found was a small victory, a fleeting reprieve from the gnawing hunger. The fear of predators, once a distant threat, became a constant companion. Every rustle in the grass, every shadow that moved, sent his heart racing. He had to be vigilant, always on guard, knowing that danger lurked around every corner. Every rustle in the grass, every shadow that danced in the moonlight, sent shivers down his spine. The nights were the worst, the darkness amplifying his fears. The once comforting sounds of the savannah now felt like a symphony of threats, each note a reminder of his precarious existence. The days blurred into nights. Time lost its meaning as he wandered aimlessly, the relentless cycle of day and night offering no respite. The once vibrant colors of the savannah seemed to fade, mirroring his own diminishing spirit. Copa, once full of life and mischief, became a shadow of his former self. His energy drained, his playful antics replaced by a weary resignation. The spark that once defined him seemed to flicker, threatening to extinguish completely. His once shiny coat turned dull, his playful growls replaced with mournful whimpers. The pride and joy that once radiated from him were now replaced by a deep, aching sorrow. His spirit, once unbreakable, now seemed fragile and worn. He roamed the savannah, a tiny ghost haunting the land of his birth. Each step he took was a testament to his resilience, a silent cry for help in a world that seemed indifferent to his plight. The vastness of the savannah only served to highlight his solitude, yet, even in the face of such adversity, the spark of his lineage refused to be extinguished. Deep within him, a fire still burned, a testament to the strength and courage of his ancestors. It was this spark that kept him moving forward, one paw in front of the other. Deep within him, beneath the layers of fear and despair, the heart of a lion beat strong. It was a heart that refused to give up, that clung to life with a tenacity that belied his tender age. Copa, the abandoned cub, clung to life with a tenacity that belied his tender age. Copa, the abandoned cub, clung to life with a tenacity that belied his tender age. He was a lion after all, and lions, even when broken, are never truly defeated. The spirit of the savannah lived within him, a constant reminder of his heritage and his strength. He was a lion after all, and lions, even when broken, are never truly defeated. The spirit of the savannah lived within him, a constant reminder of his heritage and his strength. And lions, even when broken, are never truly defeated. The spirit of the savannah lived within him, a constant reminder of his heritage and his strength. The roar of the savannah echoed in his heart, a promise that he would rise again, stronger and more resilient than ever before.